Hey everybody, how you doing today? Welcome to my kitchen. This is Killer Grub with Mark. And today we are going to make gluten-free New York style cheesecake. I know there's some people out there that are sensitive to gluten, have the celiac, I believe, disease. You know, they just can't process gluten. So I thought, well, what the heck, you know, it can't be that hard to make a gluten-free cheesecake. So I figured it out, and now I'm going to share the recipe with everybody out there. I'm actually making this cheesecake for one of my good friend's wife. She's sensitive to gluten. She eats gluten-free, and she doesn't know it yet, but I'm making this cheesecake for her. And hopefully tomorrow I'll take it over there. So anyway, let's get started. All right, so we've got all of our ingredients ready. I've got, in this bowl, I've got 1 1/4 cups of gluten-free flour, plus I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I've got 2 tablespoons of sugar. All right, so we want to sift these in, so I am going to drop them in here, and we'll go ahead and sift all these together into our mixing bowl. Okay, all done, good deal. All right, I am going to be using my stand mixer. If you don't have a stand mixer, that's fine. You can do this all by hand. All right, if you're going to use a stand mixer or a hand beater, slice your butter into thin slices like this, okay? If you're going to be doing it by hand, all right, then you'll want to cube up your butter, okay? So now let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and throw the butter in here, okay? Butter in. Put it into our stand mixer. I'm going to be using this beater. All right. And we'll go ahead and fire it up. And it's going to take a while. You don't want to run it high, you want to run it kind of low like this, and you want to just kind of let it go. Basically, it's what you're looking for, your final product is, it's going to kind of look like coarse sand, I guess, is one way to describe it, okay? But it's going to take a while, you're going to have to let it go. And you don't want to add anything else into it until you get it to that coarse kind of sand texture. It's actually working pretty good. But I'm going to let it rock. I'm just going to let it rock. I pulled this out here so I could show you guys real quick. This is what we're looking for. This is the texture we're looking for, okay? You see that? That's what we're looking for. And you see it incorporated, it literally, the butter's all there, it's just all coated with flour. And that's what you're looking for. And it didn't take that long. Okay, now we'll put everything back together here. Okay, and I want to add my egg. So, let's get this thing going again. And we'll add our egg. That egg is what is going to bind it all together. Because, you know, without the gluten, that protein, the gluten, you don't have a binder in there, so you got to put some kind of a binder in there. And we're going to use an egg. come together really nicely. Now what we want to do is, a little bit at a time, I'm going to start out with 1 tablespoon of ice cold water, okay? I don't think it's going to take much more, because I think the dough is almost ready. Looks ready to me. Okay, I think the dough is ready, so let's go ahead and get it out of the mixer. Use your hands, get all the dough off of there. And yes, I'm making a cheesecake with a sweet pie crust on the bottom. Okay, now all you want to do is just get this formed up into a ball. Okay? That. Perfect, right? Okay? And then you want to wrap it. Plastic wrap. Just like that, and put it in the refrigerator for about 15 to 30 minutes just to chill it down, okay? Alright, so our dough has been in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Alright, and trust me when I tell you that I am not a professional pie crust maker. I'm far from it. So first thing you want to do is you want to throw some flour on your counter, your working surface, whatever you're going to be, you know, working your dough on, okay? Okay? And I usually will kind of flour up my rolling pin as well. Mash this out a little bit. Remember, it's cold, so it's going to crack around the edges. I don't really care. Okay? Try not to use too much flour with this dough. Okay? And just roll a little bit. I don't really mind that it's cracking around the edges because it's easy to repair, and I'm only going to be using a small portion of this. I told you I'm not professional. This is not my forte. Okay? I think you guys can figure that out right now. It's not. Oops. See? The rolling pin. We just about have as much as I need. I want it to be thin though. That's the thing. I don't want a thick crust, okay? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of put the springform pan on there, and I'm going to kind of cut around it. A little bit bigger than the actual springform, okay? Get all this other stuff off of here because we don't need it. Use that for something else, right? tray that it comes off of here. I think it did. Okay. So now but there we go, I've got it all in there. I'm going to pre-bake it, okay? I'm going to pre-bake it just for maybe 10 minutes. Not a lot, okay? I just want to get it a little bit started done before I throw the cheesecake in there, all right? So, I am going to put it onto my baking sheet, as I always do. I'm going to put it in a 350 degree oven, and we're going to leave it in there for about 10 minutes. All right? While I clean up my mess. Okay, so while the pie crust is in the oven, we will go ahead and get started with our batter. I already put the 4 8-ounce packages of cream cheese in here. Now I'm going to go ahead and toss in the sugar, 1.5 cups of sugar. This is the same cheesecake recipe I always use. There's nothing different other than the fact that I'm going to use some different stuff like the flour. I'm not using all-purpose flour. I'm using Bob's Red Mill gluten-free 1-to-1 baking flour. But you could also substitute the flour with cornstarch. Same amount. If you're doing 3 tablespoons of flour, then you would do 3 tablespoons. I'm an idiot, right? You would do 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. I'm using 3 tablespoons of gluten-free baking flour. Okay? So let's get this all mixed up. Alright, now I'm going to add 1/2 cup heavy cream. And I'm going to add the 1 cup of sour cream. And let this mix just a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and throw the sour cream in there. Okay. Let's make this easier on ourselves, right? Okay, get that going. I promise you this is water in this glass. As soon as that's incorporated, I'll go ahead and start adding the flour. And that was 3 tablespoons of gluten-free flour. Crust, whatever you want to call it. Okay. All right. A little sip here. Cold water. Alright, next thing I'm going to pop in there is some of my homemade Madagascar vanilla. Almost put 2 tablespoons in. This stuff is excellent. It's time consuming, it takes months. But best vanilla you'll ever have. If you're interested in making vanilla, let me know. Okay, let's go ahead and pop our eggs in. 1 egg at a time. Just let it mix. You don't want to over-mix it. Once you put your eggs in there, it's super important that you do not over-mix it, okay? You just want to mix each egg until it's combined, okay? Okay, that's it. Batter is done. All right. Okay, get rid of that. Push this out of the way. I'm not going to use that one. We'll use this one. Alright, I'm going to give this just a quick little stir. Okay. Batter is ready. Okay. I'm going to give this a few more minutes to cool off. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to butter the edges inside of here, inside of my spring form. Just helps it release a little bit easier. Somebody just recently pointed out to me, Karen, that I didn't mention that in one of my other cheesecake videos. There we go. Edges are buttered. Okay. Now we're ready to pour our batter in. Look at that. Oh yeah. That's golden goodness. You can smooth it out, do whatever you want. My main objective is to get the bubbles out. So I'm gonna, okay, we're ready to put it in the oven now. All right, so like I said, I put it on my baking sheet. I'm putting it in the lower third of the oven, 475 degrees. 10 minutes. Timer, 10 minutes. Rock and roll, okay? Do it for 10 minutes, and then after 10 minutes, we're gonna knock that temperature down to 200 degrees, set it for 60 minutes, let it go. All right, it's been 10 minutes. Now I am going to lower the temperature down to 200 degrees. I'm not going to open the oven. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to lower the temp, then set the timer for 60 minutes. Here we go, 200 degrees, timer, 1 hour. That's it. We'll let this thing eat for an hour, and then we'll be back in an hour. All right, it's been an hour, and I'm right here. I want to show you something. This is what you need to check for, okay? To see if it's done. Normally, I would just shut the oven off. I wouldn't open the oven. I would just shut the oven off, maybe prop it open with a wooden spoon, whatever. But I want to show you guys what you need to look for to see if it's done. So let's go ahead and open it up. All right, and I'm going to pick you guys up so you can see a little better. Okay, we'll jig it just a little bit. See that center, like 4 or 5 inch section right there in the middle. Okay, it jiggles a little bit. That means it's done. So what I'm going to do, turn the oven off. Just going to grab a wooden spoon. Take my wooden spoon, put it in there, prop it open, and that's it. I'm going to leave it, let it cool until it's completely cooled off. And then I'll take it out of the oven, put it on a wire rack, let it cool completely till it's completely cold, and then put it in the refrigerator. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so the cheesecake has been sitting in the refrigerator all night. And, well, we have Grand Canyon. Take a good look there. We got a nice big crack, which it is what it is. You know, it's a 50-50 shot if it's going to crack or not. Most likely, I caused that crack from opening up the oven and shaking it and showing you what you're looking for as far as doneness. You know, that little jiggly, like Jell-O in the middle, that little area about this big in the middle. You want it to be a little jiggly, like Jell-O. That's when you know it's done. And I spent a little bit too much time with the oven wide open, shaking it to show you guys really what you're looking for doneness wise. Normally, if you're going to do that, you open the oven real quick, give it a little quick jiggle, close the oven, and let it cool slowly in the oven. And I didn't do that, whatever. I don't know, it might be the gluten-free flour. I mean, it could be a lot of things, but whatever. It still will taste, I'm sure, delicious. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I make the sour cream topping. And what you do is, I've got 3 nice big heaping tablespoons of sour cream in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a tablespoon-ish. It's really to your taste, okay? A tablespoon, like I'm putting like, I heaped it on there, let it spill over. So probably a tablespoon and a half, right around in there, of sugar. And then I'm going to put in a teaspoon of the key lime. This is the key lime juice that I use. It's extremely good. I didn't put any citrus in this cheesecake. I chose not to this time. You don't have to, you can. And then I'm going to put a little more than a teaspoon of my homemade vanilla extract. So let's spill over a little bit. You don't want to put too much in there. All right. This vanilla extract right now is only a month and a half. Okay. So there we go. Now we'll just give that a stir. You want to stir it up real good. Okay. Nice and creamy, okay? Now you just want to drizzle it on your cheesecake. I'm going to fill in that crack with it. Alright, and then you just want to spread it around. This cheesecake really looks amazing. I mean, it has that perfect browning around the sides. It really looks excellent. I'm really happy with it, even though it did crack. I'm not trying to hide the crack. You'll still be able to see it. And cracks don't bother me. The taste is what's most important. Even some of the best pastry bakers, chefs out there will tell you, sometimes they crack. I tried to do it so they don't crack, but delicious. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back in the refrigerator and let this set up. Just let the sour cream set up, and then we'll take it out of the spring form and get it ready to go, because I'm taking this to the person I made it for. And we'll let them do the taste test. So we'll see you here shortly. All right, so I'm in my car. I got a cheesecake ready to go. I'll secure it in there. Got the bottle of Madagascar bourbon vanilla that I'm giving to my good friends Mike and Jana. The cheesecake is for Jana, and the vanilla's for both of them. So anyway, I'm in my car, and we're gonna head on over there. So I'm gonna do a little time-lapse video of my drive over there. So stand by.
just backed into the garage, and successful trip. Jenna and Mike loved the cheesecake. It really turned out great. I wish I could have done some video while I was there, but for some specific reasons I chose not to. Anyway, they loved the cheesecake. It was great. They loved it. It turned out excellent. So I'm back home in my garage. I'm gonna get in the house now. So good trip.